Division of Wildlife Resources is now shutting down what's become known as a free camping ground in Weber County because they say too many people were abusing it.
They say excessive littering and drugs are among just some of the problems that conservation officers were having to deal with. News specialist Mike Anderson is in Weber County tonight. Mike?
The parking lot here at Middle Fork Wildlife Management Area isn't a campground, but it's become known online as sort of a free camping stop. But the problems here have grown so much over the past couple of years that the DWR has decided to cut that off. Middle Fork will be opening up in just a couple of weeks, but one thing the DWR hopes to not see again this spring and summer season is this: piles of garbage, tents and sleeping bags often left behind.
In the last 2 years, it's been increasingly gaining problem.
Trevor Doman is one of the conservation officers in this area who's watched those problems climb in a way that he hasn't seen before.
It's an area where we don't charge, and so therefore lots of people love to be able to come where it's free and camp. That's been the biggest issue.
People apparently taking advantage of the situation, leaving it for others to clean up. Then Doman says there are the calls for things like vandalism, drugs, and domestic violence, 75 of them in 2020 alone.
So we've just decided that it's better that we just close camping in the parking lot only.
WMAs like this are set up to protect wildlife, and Doman says that's really what his job is all about, not so much responding to problem calls. The parking lot and surrounding area will open up again to camping, however, come September.
That's when the big game hunting opens back up and we get our big game hunters coming in. We want them to realize that's when they can come. They can come again, camp in the parking lot, hike out of the parking lot.
And they typically haven't had these kinds of issues with that crowd. But this spring and summer, Middle Fork is open to camping if you're willing to hike it in and hike it out.
Pack up your stuff on the backpack, hike back up in, enjoy it back up in. This WMA goes for miles back up in there. There's a lot of big open country that you can enjoy and do.
So it's the parking lot and a third of a mile radius around it that is shut off for camping for the spring and summer months. This area as a whole as well is shut off to the public from January to the second Saturday in April every year to help protect the wildlife here. Mike Anderson, KSL 5 News.